Good morning. It is the first day of spring, March 20th, 2021, and I am trying desperately to grow a flower garden here. I put in about 200 flower seeds on February 10th, and I have watched so many sunflowers come up and then get taken by birds. And we are in Central California, Zone 9B. It is very dry, and we've been having some rain, which is wonderful. And then the rain washes away the seedlings. So a lot of the green here is grass or weeds. There's a few things like, I think I see a little cosmos here, and I think this is calendula, and I don't know what this is. I planted some yarrow, which I've never planted before, so if you know if this is a yarrow seedling, please tell me, or if it's a weed. My lavender that is getting some buds on it. If I can get the camera to focus. Getting some buds here. There we go. This is a Spanish lavender, a Nook variety. So it's got the little flags that are on top of it. It's not the English lavender with the long stems, but it's still very fragrant. And I have some sweet alyssum here. So I put in about 200 more flower seeds in some seed starting trays, and some of those have come up. This is a little Euryops that I was given to remember my aunt who died this past Christmas, so it is here as a little memorial for her. Where these white markers are is where I planted put in some clusters of sunflowers, different varieties with different heights and things like that. So a lot of those have been taken by birds. So I've resown a lot of these things now in those seed starting trays or in some milk jugs for the winter sowing. But really happy with how my containers are looking here. Put in some, this is the pastel carpet sweet alyssum. It's Dusty Miller's, looking really fabulous. I've had to prune it back. And then some of our zonal geraniums in these planter boxes that my husband built. There are some begonias. Let's see, these are looking better on this side maybe. Not much better. There's some begonias that haven't done too great this winter. The color palette in this whole front area is all, whoop, I just stepped on a snail. Yuck. All cool colors, pinks and purples, with the exception of the sunflowers and the Euryops here. And then over here, cut back hard were some shrimp plants, and so those bloom really wonderfully for us, and some Mexican heather. I pruned back this one quite severely because I believe my neighbor's cat is sleeping in it and crushing the top of it. So I pruned it back really hard. The other thing that's been taking my seeds has been cats in my neighborhood that when I prepared this bed, they apparently thought, oh, thanks for the fresh litter box. So that has been not good times. So I've been spraying all manner of things and using coffee grounds and I don't know, if it's working or not. The coffee grounds religiously applied every day seem to help. But my plan is for this to be absolutely jam-packed with flowers. I don't know if that will happen or not, but I'm trying. We intend for our whole front yard here to be redone with native landscaping, rock, lots of cacti and things like that. Except I'm trying to also imagine sort of doing a fusion style native desert landscaping with some cottage garden, so with some drought tolerant flowers, and so I'm wanting to do a little bit of a fusion here. So we'll see. This is I'm imagining my one shot of doing a really full flower garden in this front bed here. This strip to the side is where my neighbors are planning to extend their driveway. That's their property line, so they're wanting to extend their driveway, and hoping that a lot will change here, maybe in another year or so. But in the meantime, first day of spring, and that is what is happening in the front. So it's evening now, same day, still first day of spring, and we've just finished dinner, and I wanted to show you the back side and the side. So during this past year of working from home, our side gate has become something of another main entrance. Having people over for meetings and socially distanced dinners and things like that. So this is my little entryway, pots of a few succulents here. It is uncharacteristically windy for us, so the gate was just blowing shut. And so coming down then the side of the house, that despite the ladders and whatnot is picked up from normal, and another little pot on a chair by this second little gate that we have. I picked up these little, get this to focus, these little calibrachoas. Somewhere it says calibrachoa, doesn't it? Well, I picked these up in the ugly plant section at a local nursery, and they were looking scrawny and puny, and I just gave them a little bit of fertilizer. There's two of them in here, so one for me and one for my daughter, and I'm hoping that this just becomes really full and beautiful this summer. And here are some more of my flowers that I'm redoing. I'd show you inside, but there's nothing going on because I just did them yesterday. Most of this is what I put in that front flower bed already. These are new. I'm super excited about these. And I have a couple more still to do, but gotta drink some more milk. And then coming around here, we still have my Christmas pine cone tree with lights on it. I either need to get the shed organized enough, or we're just gonna call it like art or something. And I'm gonna try to keep the shade and the shade and the sun and the sun right now so you can see better. So very soon I need to redo my little succulent planter that my husband made me last year. I lost a bunch of stuff. We had some 109-degree temperatures this last summer, so I lost a bunch of stuff, including my favorites, my little Echeveria imbricautas. So sad. So crispy. And my little Talavera pots, which I just love. So on this side are almost all of my succulents. I'm going to be trying to consolidate all these pots and I don't know, do some new arrangements that have, things like this have just gotten really tired. This used to be like the Thriller, not exactly the Thriller anymore. So want to redo some of these things now that it's spring and things are coming back to life. So here are the seedlings that I started after I started to realize, maybe this is why I don't have great germination. After I started to realize that the birds were eating my seedlings, I started a whole bunch in here, cosmos and zinnias, and what else did I put in here? Calendula. There's also some bee balm and some yarrow, and I mean, none of that came up. I think I just let stuff go dry. I'm so used to working with succulents and not having to worry about them. I'm super excited about these polar bear, no, these are the polar bear zinnias. These are the apricot lemonade cosmos, and then these are the xanthos cosmos. And here's my daughter's single seed tomato, the good-hearted tomato. This echinacea hasn't come up yet. I just keep putting in more dwarf rainbow alyssum in here. One of the, I think it was my 4th try with my single seed. I started these 4 tomatoes and this Lesia bell pepper in coffee filters, just kept them damp and in a closet where it was warm. They all germinated, but not that tomato seed. But that's okay, we're going now. Very sad looking Stapelia. Hope it comes back. Some more tired arrangements here that I just need to refresh and get them going again. Here's all my tomato seed, mostly tomato seedlings, a couple marigolds, a handful of calendula, and I need a place to put these nasturtiums. They're super tiny, but they overwintered, so we'll see. And a la Laura Eubanks, this is my garden of death for putting things that I don't currently have in an arrangement or don't know what I'm going to do with yet. So some things that truly are coming back, and other things that are just fine. I just didn't know what I was going to do with them. I've got some fiddle leaf fig cuttings that I'm trying to root back here in the shade under the canopy of our orange tree. Oh, speaking of, there are, focus, there we go, blossoms coming. Oh my goodness, orange blossom season is my favorite. Forget first day of spring. Orange blossom season is what I'm about. So let's see what else is something you can see. It doesn't have the harsh sun on it. So still working on some pots here in our little rock garden area. If I come down, maybe you can see that there's a bit of a hill here. This huge piece of, it's hard to see how big it is. It's 4 feet, 5 feet long Myrtillo cactus geometricans that some neighbors around the corner, I admired it one day and I was like, do you know how valuable that is? They didn't know, and they asked us if we would come back, we could, and help them trim it, we could take some home with us. So we have now these gigantic cuttings that we need to figure out where we want to put them. They're very hard to move. My sun goddess here, oh, I'm super excited about this. Most gorgeous blooms I've ever seen in my whole life. last for like a day. And so here's the vegetable garden that is about to get reset for spring and summer. All my nasturtiums were overwintered. So I'm going to put a T-post here in the middle and over there in the middle, and put my trellises back up for my tomatoes here. So I've got some beets in the front, some Swiss chard, the last bit of some Japanese giant red mustard that is about to bolt, some carrots over here. I've got to show you. My daughter, I forget why, but my daughter named this little reading rabbit Bernie. So this is Bernie's carrot garden. He is presiding and keeping watch over the carrots. So a couple of sugar snap peas back here. And here's the giant Japanese red mustard that we've been picking and eating, and that is a thing sending up, getting ready to bolt here and be done. Some garlic on the sides and a little bit of this and that down here. My daughter's old boots that I put a couple of. These are the pastel carpet sweet alyssum that I was saying this morning are in that front planter box, so I'm hoping that they'll cascade down and get gorgeous. These are overwintered too. I just cut them back pretty hard. They had been looking, you know, sad and spindly, and so now they're gorgeous. And my daughter and I always tell each other, smell them, they smell like honey. It's just so sweet. Another nasturtium back here that is just ready to take over everything. A Thompson seedless grape and a red flame. Forget which one is which, but one on each side of this round arch. And then some strawberries that are starting to do their thing here. These never make it into the house. We end up eating them all just out here in the garden. Same with my sugar snap peas. I'm the only one that eats them, and I eat them all like standing in the garden. These raspberries, if anybody wants raspberry starts, are coming up, not from this one, but from that one. That's the Barbary, I think. And I think this one's Heritage. There's like 4 or 5 maybe starts, and they are coming from the bottom of the barrel. So be forewarned. Blackberry and a black jewel raspberry that hasn't really started leafing out yet. This is the Waltham 29 broccoli, and it is going to seed, so I got to get that out because I don't want broccoli seed everywhere. But I've been leaving it for the bees. Some red Russian kale and some Tuscan kale. I haven't checked to see if it's going to seed. I'm sure that it is. I'm super excited about this little addition, a bug hotel for our pollinators, to welcome them and keep attracting those beneficial insects to help keep our pest pressure down. And a sad little herb barrel. This lemon thyme had been transplanted, and then I sheared it back, and it's just been struggling ever since. And got some oregano. This was one plant here, and sort of what's left after the winter. Some cilantro here and there. Some rosemary that got hit so hard by spider mites last year, so I'm glad that there's some new green growth on it. And let's see, this is the other, that giant nasturtium, one plant that is all on the other side. These are my peppers that I overwintered. We got just a tiny bit of frost the other day, and the little bit that was leafing out has already crisped back up, so I'm hoping it leaves out again. People are telling me, oh, I'm in your zone and I didn't do anything to mine, and My husband says we have some neighbors around the corner that just left theirs out in the open and theirs were fine. I'm like, well, that's nice for them. Mine weren't. Mine got some real frost damage, so I did cover them and leave them. And most of them are doing okay now, I think. So this is a bell pepper here. This is a Brazilian starfish. These two, Sugar Rush Peach, Sugar Rush Cream, and buried in the nasturtium is another bell pepper. And then, let's see. Oh, in here I'm going to put what am I going to put right here? A ground cherry for my daughter because she loves them. And then some sugar baby bush watermelons, 2 in here. I forget what I'm doing back here. So 3 skinny raised beds here, all outfitted with trellises. Most of my sugar snap peas are in this back row. The one bit of mosh that actually came up, some spinach. There was just like a random seedling that I didn't have anywhere else to put, so there it went. Some, I think these are the Nantes, Scarlet Nantes carrots, some garlic, sugar snap peas, random Brussels sprout that is not producing Brussels sprouts. But I think back here on this trellis will be some, you can see the trellis here, melons, cucumbers, that kind of thing. My awesome little potting stand my husband made me. Bucko, the Talavera gecko there. More Brussels sprouts. A couple other sweet peas, sugar snap peas. Some calendula. These are actually producing some Brussels sprouts. I'm a little worried though about how warm it's getting and whether they will get to do much else this season, or whether that's just not something that I can do here in Fresno. And some broccoli rabe that we'll see if I can get it to where I can actually have some of it. It's not done well for me this whole winter and spring. And one more Tuscan kale was a seedling that I had left over. Some extra lettuce seedlings that I'm going to be trying to share with some friends. And let's see, the backside. This nasturtium is just a monster. I love it. My Eureka Dwarf variegated pink lemon that I'm just over the moon excited about. And stuck another little sweet alyssum in here. And these are a couple gifts, some little towers. I'll show you those later. And these are some sort of sad looking pots arrangements from the fall. I need to figure out what to do with these pansies that survived the winter. I don't know if they'll keep going. I've not really grown annuals. I've not liked to have to pay for them and then have them die and then buy them again. I've liked perennials better, but I have come to really appreciate all of the color, and you can grow them from seeds, so it's no big deal. A chrysanthemum overwintered, some dahlia seeds. I've never grown dahlias. I'm super excited about that. Some mint and a couple lettuces. I forget which. One variety of carrots here. Some more sort of stuck in there. Some spinach, some more carrots, some more garlic. Some tatsoi that is about to bolt and go to seed. And let's see. I think the sun is makes it hard to see over here, but these 6 half barrels here are blueberries. Oh, I have to show you this, even if the light is really terrible. But it's the first day of spring, and our first rose is blooming, and that is just a thing of beauty. This rose was here when we moved in. This was, we bought my husband's grandparents' house And this was here, and I just love it. So I'm glad that it has survived its transplant. I have 2 mini roses that I put in here with it. One was a gift for my daughter when she was born, and one was a gift for me that same year for my birthday. So having them all together just seems right. And then 2 barrels, and I don't know if you can see it, 3 barrels with my new David Austin roses in them that I'm super excited about. And okay, last thing. Where are they? Here they are. Here's one. Sorry, this is really tough with the breeze. We've got apricots. Last year we had one, and my husband watched it and watched it and watched it, and a squirrel got it. So that was sad. So this year things are looking better. I'll have to show you later the Fuyu persimmon when the flowers come. They're just so incredibly gorgeous. I'm so grateful that that is a beautiful, well-established tree. I just love them. One new white, Babcock white peach tree here, a fig here, and that's what we're about. So, hope you have had a wonderful first day of spring. Things are looking just as they should. I'll see you later. Okay, last thing, I just had to show you. It's actually darker out here than it looks in the camera, but I got these lights put up today, which feels just so perfect for the first day of spring. They clearly don't go all the way, which is a bummer, but look how cute these little lights are. These bee lights. Of course, I love my pollinators, so loving these little bee lights. They're solar, so the end of it is just stuck up in the trellis at the end over here. I was inspired by my neighbors have these solar lights that are up in the little playhouse next door, and so they're just on every night, and I thought I want a little fun light, so that's really all. I wanted to show you my new bee lights for the first day of spring. I hope you've had a wonderful day. See you soon.